If you looked at my last video on reverse numbers, and I'll include a link in the description to this one. There's this recurring theme, recurring pattern. Like for the 100s, 200s, 300s, even up to 600s, like in my last video. Any given numbers are 2, which is a even number, then 9, 7, 5, 3, 1, which are odd numbers, then 8, 6, 4, 2, then it goes back to 9, 7, 5, 3, 1, and it does that for each block of 100s, 100s, 200s, 300s, 400s, 500s, 600s, but they shift. They shift as you move up the scale. As you go up in numbers, they shift. I think the first one is 2. The second one, 200, might be 4. The third one might be 6. And then they go to 8, and then 9, 7. Well, this is the overall span of blocks of 100s from 1,000 to 900 to 800 to 700 to 600 to 500, 400, 300, 200, 100. And they again contain this span, contain these patterns of numbers. They start out with a 2, then 9, and you can imagine these going all the way down the line of these numbers. And this pattern emerges, and even in a span of 10,000, 9,000, 8,000, 7,000, 6,000, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. They again contain this signature sort of pattern where you have a positive number 2, not a positive, but an even number 2, odd number 9, 7, 5, 3, 1, then even numbers 8, 6, 4, 2. And lastly, I'd like to comment that why do the even numbers seem to contain the odd numbers in all spans of reverse numbers? Why isn't there a odd number that begins the whole span? These spans, not the individual hundreds blocks of spans, because sometimes you would have an odd number. But overall, these spans, these from 1,000 to 10,000 on up to 100,000, they're all going to contain 2, 9, 7, 5, 3, 1, 8, 6, 4, 2. And then, the last thing I'd like to say is that 0 equals 1. What I'm actually saying, I believe, is already established. 0 raised to the 0th power is 1. And, but in this line of reasoning, it's because negative 10 would have its reverse self, negative 0, 1, to equal negative 11, which added together numerologically is negative 2. So the only even negative 1 with itself is negative 1, which is negative 2. So, and when you reach the bottom of the positive numbers, you're going all the way down to 0 of the 100s blocks. That 0 must be 1, must equal 1. So it starts out with a negative number, or it starts out with a odd number for 0. 0 must represent 1. But I'm doing it through this line of reasoning. So, well, I hope I explained myself clearly on this. This seems like a new type of number to deal with. Well, talk to you later. Bye.